What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. Welcome back to another video. Now, in this one, I want to talk to you guys about XRP and honestly, this theory that is out there that explains that XRP's price could drop by 65% before it ends up exploding. Seeing history and including history not only for XRP but for the markets and looking at patterns and looking at theories and obviously putting all those things together, you can see that these things can happen. But is it 100% that those things are going to happen? No. Why? Because we have a speculative market, and I'll explain exactly my feelings behind it. Doesn't mean that it totally discounts any type of theory or pattern that's out there. No, it doesn't mean that, but we'll dive into a lot of this detail and honestly my opinions because that's all it is. So if you guys could, make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter or follow me on Patreon, those links are in the description. Now, also, don't forget about my link for BTCC. If you guys are interested in trading XRP up to a 500x leverage, you can do that with the link in the description. You can also get a 10% deposit bonus. You can also get up to $10,055 of extra bonuses and 40% lower trading fees. Now, again, you can trade 500x leverage over here, but it doesn't mean that you have to trade 500x leverage. What I typically trade is anywhere from 5 all the way up to 50, depending on where the market is, right? If the market comes all the way down heavily, like really drops down fast, then I know we're going to see a fast recovery. So that's when I'll do like a 50x leverage. However, most of the time I'm doing like a 5 to 10x leverage. Sometimes I'm even doing a 2x leverage. So make sure you guys understand your trading strategy and understand what leverage trading is. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Patreon. Now, let's go ahead and dive into where XRP is right now and the price prediction, I guess, or prediction of what could happen. So currently, XRP's price is at a $2.37 level. It is down by 3.6% today, and we're seeing $5.3 billion worth of volume. It is currently ranked fourth, and it keeps going back and forth between being third and being fourth on the list by market cap, but it is at a $136 billion market cap with still that about 58% or 58 billion coins in circulating supply. Over the last 7 days, we've seen XRP drop a little bit. It's down by about 7%. Over the last month, it's slightly down, right? We saw that rise all the way up to $3.40. And then now we're seeing that drop here. And we see a little bit of a recovery while we also see more of a drop in the overall market. It's not just XRP, it's the overall market. But this is not really getting me worried, right? I understand how my positions and a lot of other positions that are out there can fluctuate quite a bit and honestly see tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of a difference between where it was at its high down to where it is currently. But it's not something that has me worried because it's more of a long-term mindset than it is a short-term mindset. Even though for tax season, they decided to when I was transferring over XRP that I didn't want, and I ended up, moving that XRP or selling that XRP, they took my long-term positions and sold those, which were short-term at the time and were going to be long-term this month. So it's kind of interesting to see that, and I have to find a way to go about reporting that differently because then in any case I'm going to be short term and pay 37% or whatever plus state and local and all those things there for short term capital gains tax. But never mind, that's neither here nor there. What we're here to talk about is XRP and the kind of price prediction or price movement and the theory behind why you see potentially a 65% drop here. So XRP's price may crash 65%, the Wyckoff theory shows. So they go through all the detail of where XRP is and the reversal that we have seen there, and talking about the Ethereum ETF and the accumulation and all that stuff there. But XRP's price may be at risk of a deep dive. As you see here, we are very far away from where the kind of more recent low points are when we talk about over the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or so. We're looking at highs that we hit of $1.80, but these lows here are very significant because we have no information in between, nothing really in between that says that it's going to really stop at those levels unless you look back to September of 2021, or look back, back to here to where this could come back to. But even if that's still a far way, that's 65%, right? So, anyways, the Wyckoff theory, which is about 95 years old today, explains how financial assets move over time. It identifies 4 phases: accumulation, markup, distribution, and markdown. XRP's price remain in an accumulation phase between 2022 to November 2024. This phase is characterized by consolidation, and in XRP's case, it remained between 32 cents, 32.6 cents, and 93 cents. It moved into a markup phase in November as the price surged, leading to fear of missing out among investors. This phase has higher demand for supply. XRP is now moved into the distribution phase, which is characterized by high volatility. If the theory works out well, it will now move into the markdown phase, which may see a drop in support at 93 cents. This support coincides with the 78% retracement point, and the 61% low, below the current level. The bearish view will become invalid if the Ripple price rises above the year-to-date high of $3.40. So it's an if, right? This is what I take from this, right? I think it's great to always have this type of information, and it does show you a lot. But when I look at patterns and I look at theories and I look at the way people react to things, that's all it really is. People are reacting to what could be, right? And if people say, oh, it's going to be a 65% drop, then a lot of people are going to get very fearful, and you're going to see that 65% drop, right? Now, when it comes to this, when it comes to the Wyckoff theory, we're talking about something that is that actually has a lot of details into different phases that we see a lot, right? And as we get into this phase, I honestly don't believe that these phases are this short to see that you get into the markup phase that happened in November and it ends, 4 months later, or 2 months later, technically, because it started coming back last month. So to see that phase happen so short, it doesn't really fully line up. However, the way that I look at it is the fact that this is crypto, right? Crypto is highly speculative. It's a market that we don't fully understand, and we can't apply every single pattern and theory and things that we've used in the past to it. And we've learned that when it comes to even understanding how to classify it. You're not classifying it as a security. You may classify it as a commodity. What do you classify it as, right? Maybe you need this entirely new, sector of what it is, right? And what it's used for, because it is something new. And that's why we can't really look at it the same way that we've looked at something that is 95 years old today, right? So that's the way that I see it. Does it mean that the 65% drop won't happen? No, that doesn't mean it. It depends how strong these articles are and how strong the communication is behind it. But either way, the way that I look at it, if the 65% drop does happen or doesn't happen, I'm still very, very bullish on where this is and where this is going, right? So I will try, if I can, because right now my cost basis is 122. I will try to accumulate more if that is the case. But either way, I'm in it for the long term, right? I'm in it for what it's going to be and what it's going to be used for, not just, oh, hey, I want to see this short-term gain, right? Some people are for that, and if you are for that, then make sure you're doing a lot of research to tell you whether it is going to drop or it isn't going to drop. But no one 100% knows. So 65% drop could happen. I don't think it's likely that we're going to see that. There is a huge gap to fill, so there is always that. But with altcoin season literally right here, we still have a lot more left on the table when it comes to positivity and it comes to potential use case for crypto. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think this holds up? Do you think that we are, we are in that distribution phase and we're getting close to we're in the markdown phase as of right now and seeing potentially another 65% or total 65% drop within this? Let me know. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Patreon, also check out my link for BTCC. It's in the description. I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.